Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michon and I do weekly DIYs and hauls. If you're not new, hey doll, hey. So in today's video, I am sharing with you a few farmhouse DIYs for you. Don't we all have way too many of those Dollar Tree signs? I know I do. I know I buy them all of the time for no real good reason. I love making farmhouse style signs and today is no different. But one of them, I have turned a Dollar Tree sign into a tray. I absolutely love how it turned out. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. It definitely helps out my channel. If you're new, love what you see, and love all things home decor on a budget, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell next to it so you're notified every time that I upload. Alright dolls, let's go ahead and jump right in. So first up, I'm starting with this tray. I love it. So from Dollar Tree, I have this Easter sign. Way too many seasonal signs. And I'm using these 5-gallon paint stir sticks that I picked up from the Home Depot. Excuse my head. I was trying to get the measurements to see where I needed to cut down the sticks at. And so once I cut those down using my miter box saw, I then removed everything off of the sign. So I took the twine off and then I took the paper off and the galvanized bunny. Definitely keeping that bunny for next year for Easter. And then, you know me, I cover the front of mine with brown craft paper. Then I'm using my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint to paint my sign. And then I'm taking my truffle chalk paint and painting those paint stir sticks. So once everything is dry, I take my drill and drill holes into the 2 holes that are already there that had the twine in. So I just basically drilled them in so that they are bigger for me to fit my jute cord in there. You'll see what I'm talking about in a sec. But once I have those in there, I just take my ruler and I measure out how far down I need to go to get my other holes. So I mark that down and then use my drill to drill in the 2 holes on the other side of that sign. Once that is done, I am now going to assemble my handles. So I'm using these 22mm beads as well as this wired jute. Now, this is my first time using this wired jute to make a beaded thing. I've used wired jute to hot glue greenery to make a wreath, but this was a little bit harder because I tried 2 different methods to fish my beads through, and I tried hot gluing it on the ends and then putting the tape on the ends. It's both a little difficult, but I would say that the tape on the ends was the easiest because it has a tendency to kind of unravel from the wire. Anyways, once that was done, I think I did about 10 beads on each one. I just put them through the holes and hot glued them where they met, so that way I could cut it off and didn't have any kind of weird bulginess at the bottom of this now tray. And then I did that to the other side and put a generous amount of hot glue where the hole was so that the cord didn't come through. And this is what it looks like once I'm done with that step. And I love the wired jute because it keeps the form of the handles. So that's why I use the wired jute cord. Now I'm taking those painted stir sticks and going to place them on either side of the handles or both sides of the handles. I never know which word to use for that kind of statement. Anyways, just hot glue those down. And then I went to my Cricut Joy and cut out the phrase "better together." I've been seeing this phrase on a lot of home decor pieces. I'm so tired of blessed sometimes and home. So I just wanted something a little bit different. I mean, I love those other 2 words, but I think this is really, really cute. So I just put that on there right in the middle, and that's it for this tray. I think it is so pretty, super functional, and just really cute. Next up, we're making this blessed sign. I love it. I know I just said I was tired of using the word blessed, but here we are. So from Dollar Tree, I have this Valentine's Day sign, and I just kind of cut it down. I didn't really like measure it. I just kind of eyeballed the size of the sign that I wanted. I feel like I have a lot of big signs in my home, but I just wanted kind of a smaller sign. So I cut that down, covered the front up with some brown craft paper. And now I'm taking those skewers that I picked up from Dollar Tree. It's like a big pack, but they're like really tall skewers. And I just kind of cut them all down. Now, this part is really tragic because I don't know why I did it, but I put my finger like where the cut part was for me to cut this with those shears. And I cut the middle of my finger, which is why I have a Band-Aid on it now. So yeah, don't do that. But I cut them all down to size, and you will see the size that I had. I just did a lot of the cutting off camera because I was so mad at myself for cutting myself, and my finger was just bleeding, and I was just like so mad, but I really needed to finish this that evening. So I used some wood glue to adhere all of the sticks onto the sides. And then what I'm going to do is take those half round wood beads and place them on the perimeter of the sign. And I'm doing this because I need to place my other skewers to see where I need to cut them. I'm going to call them dowels now, okay? They look like dowels. So once I have my beads down, I know the length of the rest of my dowels need to be. So I carefully cut it where it needs to be without my finger in the way, and just took one and then cut the rest of them down to size because it's pretty much the same side. Do you get my drift? Do you get where I'm going here? So I'm just placing the 4 dowels on the outside of the sign, and then putting my beads on the inside, and then putting the other 4 pieces of dowel on the inside. I saw this in a sign like this in a store. I can't even remember what store it was. And I was like, I'm totally making that. And so for my inside square dowels, I actually cut them at a 45-degree angle when they meet. I thought that would just give it a little bit more character, give it a little bit more dimension to it, and make it look a little bit more high end. So once I did that, I just took my wood glue again and adhered the corners together, and I let that dry. I think I let all of this dry overnight. I just left it alone. Once that was dried, then I put the rest of the wood glue on top of these dowel rods, so that way I can glue that down. And I still have my beads where they are because I still need to make sure that I place the inside square correctly. And once I do, I let that sit overnight. My beads are not hot. They're not glued down at all at this point. They're just there for measuring purposes. Once that is all dry, I then take my white linen or linen white chalk paint from Rust-Oleum and cover this entire sign using 2 coats. Once that's dry, this is how it is looking. Then I'm just going to go ahead and take those beads and hot glue them down. I feel like this thing kind of shifted, especially the inside square. It shifted a little bit, but hey, I worked around that. So what I did is hot glue the 4 corners down first to make sure that I got all of my measurements right. Because sometimes I was a little too close or a little too far apart with these beads. So I actually had to adjust probably maybe 4 of them. I did that off camera, but hey, you guys know me. I always tell you about the gaffes that I have, or the mistakes, or the struggles. But yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. But after all the beads were glued down, then I took this wired like wreath. I had this like a couple years ago. I just kind of been tearing pieces off here and there. And I just literally just made like a wreath with that, just tying it around itself. Then I have this faux ribbon, this leather from Cricut, and I just cut down a slice of it, like a piece, to just loop it up there, give it that high-end modern look. And I just hot glued that together, hot glued it on the front of the sign, hot glued the wreath on the bottom down, and then I also painted one of these pop-up stickers black from Dollar Tree, and then just placed it right on top of that leather piece. Then cut out the word blessed, here I go with blessed, from my Cricut, and place that at the bottom. And that's it for this one. I absolutely love this one. This one definitely is a lot of steps, but it is so worth it because it looks so high end. I'm absolutely in love with this. This is my favorite. Next, I have the easiest of the three, most modern. So from Dollar Tree, I'm using this Hexagon welcome sign, some beads, and some cubes from Dollar Tree, as well as this picture is from my Target Dollar Spot like canvas photo set that I got. It was only $1 and like 6 photos came in it. This is the smallest size, so I thought it'd be fun to use it for this one. I'm just doing something really different with this DIY. So I took 9 of those cubes, glued them together with some wood glue, just kind of let them set aside to dry. Now I'm working on my Hexagon sign, and I'm just pulling up that welcome word. I thought I could pull up the paper, but I couldn't, so I just flipped it to the back. Of course, I covered it with brown craft paper after I was done. Took off the hanger on the top as well as the tag, and then I just painted this with my truffle chalk paint. Now, I messed up here because I needed to put my beads down before I painted it. So after I was done with the first coat, I just went ahead and put my beads down on the outside of the hexagon, and you don't have to cut down any of them until you get like to the end. You just kind of shape the strip where you want. So this is what it looks like after I put it down and painted it one more time with a second coat. I also painted those cubes white on top as well. Then I just hot glued that down to the middle, and then hot glued the picture on top of the wood cubes, and I just did it in a different, you know, kind of direction, so it looks really cool with the hexagon shape. But yeah, that's it for this one. I really like it. It's super different from anything that I would normally do, but that's what makes it fun. Alright dolls, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you head down to my description box below. I will have the link to my other channel, Green Family Adventures, so you can get a little bit more of me, the other side of me, and more of my boys. So if you love just day in the life stuff, family travel, adventure things, go ahead, head over there, subscribe, and watch the videos we already have up. Again, I really do appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown me. With that being said, be blessed, stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye! The boys have not been here for a week. I actually go and pick them up today. So when you guys are watching this video, like today in real time, like Friday, what's the month? Friday, July 16th at 7 p.m. I will be on a plane back to California to pick up Caleb and Isaiah, bring them back tomorrow morning. So it's gonna be a whirlwind of 28 hours for me. That'll be fun. But they'll be back tomorrow. Are you guys excited to see them? I'm excited to see them, but you know what? That's what FaceTime is for. So, you know, I miss them, but I could use a couple more days. Don't forget also to subscribe to my other channel, Green Family Adventures, to see all of the fun things that me and all of my boys do on the weekends, or just some day in the life videos. Make sure you subscribe. As Caleb says, like and subscribe, please. I have to get him to show y'all that he does that one of these days.